When President Biden announced that he was not going to accept the Democratic nomination, I was preparing myself for the racism and the sexism that would ensue. I was preparing myself for all of the people to say that she wasn't qualified, as in Vice President Kamala Harris wasn't qualified. She's a DEI hire. I was prepared for all of that. This one is a good one. Will Chamberlain says, really simple, under discussed reason why Kamala Harris shouldn't be president. No children. And this echoes the way people come for child free people, child free women. This echoes J.D. Vance talking about childless cat ladies. It all goes along with that. You know, women are less valuable if they have not had babies. Basically, we are put here to be incubators. And so this is in alignment with that. He says, and no, becoming a step parent to older teenagers doesn't count. The concerns of parents and families will always be abstract to her. So this person says, just like George Washington, James Polk, Warren Harding, James Buchanan, and Andrew Jackson. And he says, so you're saying it's been 100 years since we had a childless president. This is supposed to be persuasive. But in reality, people don't really come for childless or child-free men the way that they come for women. Men can do what they want, as far as their reproductive system, even if they are willy-nilly with putting their sperm here, there, and everywhere and making babies. That doesn't get castigated. But women, no matter what, get it. You know, there is no real way for women to escape criticism for her reproductive choices. Lord Mondegreen of Sydney asked, how do you have a law degree? So now we know he has a law degree. And he says, by getting admitted to a law school, attending classes, and passing my exams. It is wild that this person is a lawyer because this is the type of thinking he has. Dam says, I'd say she has a better claim to family and can appeal to family more effectively than Trump. I also think, Will, you opening up this line of attack for ours would be a wonderful opportunity for Kamala to open the door to a grander discussion on reproductive health. Now, this person, Dam, talked about Trump. Trump gets a pass even though he was a cheating philanderer who has multiple kids by multiple women. He gets to be a cheater, but they still will prop him up more than a woman in a marriage who just opted not to have children of her own. Jarvis says, laughing my butt off, everyone is going to be mad at this. And then Will Chamberlain did this little funny dance with whatever this thing is. Sadatoshi says she hasn't incited an insurrection either. That doesn't matter though. Even though she is a law-abiding citizen and Trump is a felon, they still will prop up Trump more so than her. Okay, Myrtle says, ooh, be careful there. That is a great way to turn off a lot of moderates and women. You know, the demographics that Republicans need right now. Not a good look, especially from a man. And this person says, it's pretty clear that the right expects all women to have kids, whether they want to or not. And they are very clear about that. They expect women to be an incubator. Myrtle says, yeah, not everyone on the right. We are a diverse country that falls on a multidimensional spectrum of political beliefs. A California Republican is much different than a Louisiana Republican or a Wisconsin Republican. Comments like Will's are divisive within his own party, which only harms whoever the Republican candidate is. The timing is so bad. I would highly recommend that Laura Trump and the Trump team steer very clear from people like Will and the groups he's associated with, including the Fed Society, who I have always respected. I have no idea what he thought he would accomplish with this post. What he accomplished is giving me the ability to screenshot and make sure that we share that child-free and childless women should be disparaged. That's what he accomplished. I'm going to make sure that I show this to the network, and we continue to harp on the fact that J.D. Vance thinks very low of childless and child-free women, even though these women are probably working, paying taxes, and all of that. This person responds with, political beliefs are less important in this time and place than political actions. And to an overwhelming extent, the political actions of the right have been to embrace Trumpism. And let's not kid ourselves. Kevin McCarthy is a California Republican. He went all in. Carly says, because having someone ejaculate inside of you makes you more presidential. Levon says, if that's the case, Republicans should have Stormy Daniels as their nominee. Okay. Gary says, I don't think they meant it because she was a woman. I believe they meant it as a general rule, regardless of man or woman. However, perception often is more important than intent in the public's eyes. So yeah, they should be careful with this. Don't be careful. Let us know how you feel. But I needed to tell you guys what Butt Scratch McPherson says. Will has to be massively presidential then. And that is in regards to Carly saying, because having someone ejaculate inside of you makes you more presidential. Sunshine says, y'all voting for a Black woman with a white husband. And then this woman says, yes, B word, or do you want to be a Black woman with a white owner? And this is in regards to the Project 2025. People are really acting like Project 2025 is not a thing, as if Project 2025 is not a complete manual where they have conservative people lined up and ready to go, like a conservative LinkedIn that has policies lined up that basically are promoting the nuclear family as the only real family, where women are supposed to be at home and the daddies are supposed to be at work, basically rolling back women's rights like they have been doing, chipping away at women's rights, chipping away at DEI, chipping away at LGBTQ marriage and all of that. They are literally trying to promote a theocracy with Project 2025, and people are acting like this woman being married to a white man is the worst thing. So King Chase says, y'all really think Trump gonna make y'all slaves again? And it's not really about Trump. It's about them needing Trump to sign off on these policies. And that's the reason why it's like, yes, we need to be paying attention to Trump getting in. That's the reason why I would vote for a half-dead goat before voting for Trump. And people start talking about Project 2025, which is good. So just forget the literal plans they announced with Project 2025. Y'all contrarians is the reason we are here in the first place. And then people are like, scare tactic, to be honest. Most of those things in Project 2025 already exist in some form, and the rest affect everybody but Black men. They really don't think that things in this thing will impact them, which is silly. And the reason why Project 2025 and its tenets are being pushed is because this is what the conservative party and the Republicans are. They're pushing for a theocracy. So let's move on to Donald Trump and some of these other people's reaction. Pop Base made this tweet. Donald Trump tells CNN he thinks Kamala Harris will be easier to beat than Joe Biden. And Ashley comments on that saying, I'm sorry, but the GOP is absolutely furious that Biden isn't in the race anymore. So there's this content creator that reposts Donald Trump's Truth Social posts. So this is Donald Trump saying this. So we are forced to spend time and money on fighting crooked Joe Biden. He posed badly after having a terrible debate and quits the race. Now we have to start all over again. Shouldn't the Republican Party be reimbursed for fraud in that everybody around Joe, including his doctors and the fake news media, knew he was not capable of running for or being president? Just asking. Where just on CNN, he said that Kamala Harris was going to be easier to beat. So why would he care about this part? If she's easier to beat, then just go beat her. Some more from Donald Trump. Joe Biden never had COVID. He is a threat to democracy. And then he says, it's not over. Tomorrow, crooked Joe Biden's going to wake up and forget that he dropped out of the race. But right here, it says, if he is a threat to democracy, why wouldn't he be okay with him dropping out? He's a threat. Now we need to hear from Stephen Miller. And Stephen Miller's voice has a higher pitch than mine, and I'm an actual woman. This is kind of wild. They are definitely melting down. And they, for whatever reason, this woman who they say is easy to beat, why are they so upset? Anyways, let's listen to Stephen Miller, and you guys join in on the conversation and let me know what you think about these people and their responses and their reactions to Joe Biden endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris.
Primary. People, they had ballots. They filled out circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on advertisements. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Joe Biden. Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the entire primary. We're getting rid of our candidate, and we're pretending the election has never even happened, and we're going to let donors handpick a new nominee. They held